Dr. Ranganathan, where do you step in on this?
Good evening, Rahul. What a wonderful debate. Thank you so much to you for conducting it, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Look, the fact is that the industrial scale liar Rahul Gandhi is at it again. I'm sorry. Peddling lies and fake news, inciting his allies. Let me demolish each of his lies as far as women's reservation and the delimitation amendment is concerned. Number one, the mathematical logic of delimitation amendment to increase seats from 543 to 850 to give 33% reservation to women before 2029 elections and not 2034 is absolutely unbiased. In fact, there is a mathematical bias as far as southern states are concerned, but this bias favors them. It's not against them, because the seat increase that is going to happen is pro rata or 50% increase for each state. No state will lose its current proportional representation in parliament. So UP will get 40 more seats as it currently has 80 seats. Now, Tamil Nadu has 39 seats. If seat increase through delimitation was to be done not through the frozen 97-1 census, but after the current census, because Tamil Nadu's increase population hasn't as much as UP, it will get lesser increase in seats than UP. But here, with a simple pro rata increase, while it would have got 49 seats on the basis of delimitation post-census, it will now get 59 seats. So the southern states actually gain, not lose, right now with a simple percentage seat increase. Bottom line, if seat increase is done post delimitation and delimitation is done as demanded by the opposition post current census, southern states will get less seat gain purely because they have registered less population increase. Number two, now let me demolish the other more dangerous fake propaganda by Rahul Gandhi and the DMK, that they are being hard done by just because they have prospered and adhered to family planning and not increased their population like the poorer states have. Tamil Nadu has 39 Lok Sabha seats. Delhi has only 7. Voting population of Tamil Nadu is 62 million. For Delhi, it is 15.5 million. That means Tamil Nadu has 1.6 million voters per seat, while Delhi has 2.2 million. Now, the total fertility rate for Tamil Nadu is 1.3, but that of Delhi is even lower, 1.2. The GDP per capita of Tamil Nadu is 3.49 lakhs. That of Delhi is 5.15 lakh. And Delhi is more prosperous. It has adhered more to family planning, but it loses more than Tamil Nadu. And while out of every 100 paisa that Tamil Nadu gives to India, it gets 30 paisa in return. Out of every 100 paisa that Delhi gives to India, it gets 0.5 paisa in return. The point I'm trying to make is, put your parochialism and divisiveness where the sun doesn't shine. We are all Indians, and it is our responsibility to grow together and to take care of each other. Otherwise, what next? Tomorrow, he will start discriminating against some poorer districts within your state. Number three, whatever happened to Jitni Abadi Utna Haq claim of Rahul Gandhi? If one were to go by that, then southern states cannot cry over greater seats for UP and Bihar post-census based delimitation exercise. Also, Muslims have grown 5 times since 1947, but Hindus only 3 times. So should Muslims be discriminated against? Number 4, finally, those who oppose delimitation for Lok Sabha, fearing it would disadvantage southern states, had no problem when Kerala applied the same principle within its own borders. In 2008, based on the 2001 census, Kerala redrew assembly constituencies across districts to reflect population shifts. Mallapuram district, which recorded highest population surge over 5 lakh between 1991 and 2001, gained 4 assembly seats. In contrast, districts with lower population growth, such as Pathanamthitta and Alapua, lost 2 seats. The same logic cannot suddenly become unacceptable when applied nationally. And finally, 30 seconds. The fact is that the elected revel in getting best for themselves, not for the electorate. They don't want to suffer, while they make the people suffer. Case in point, the slated increase from 543 to 850 to give 33% reservation women. This is being done so as not to affect the political representation currently. They have increased the seats so that there is no 30% reservation, 543 seats, so that the elected do not suffer. Why don't I ask them? They apply the same yardstick to every place where there are reservations. Why don't they increase seats everywhere so that reservations in them do not affect the unreserved? That they will not do. If they were to do that, there will be no division in society. No one will be left discriminated. And finally, I support 33% women reservation, Rahul, as long as they are time bound. We need them because India's rank is 131 in the gender gap index, 100 ranks below Bangladesh. While the women labor participation rate is 45%, the labor income share of women is only 18%. And finally, because my good friend Karunaji is there, if there is 33% reservation women in parliament, why not in the Supreme Court and the higher judiciary?
Okay.